Hey guys, it's Eric from the office. This is Designs 101 with Command. So today I'm going to cover the design applet within the Command platform. We're going to go in there and I'm going to show you all the different options you have. And we're actually going to edit a social piece that you guys can then turn around and use on your Facebook pages, on any of your social media. And we're also going to go in there and edit an actual print postcard so you guys can see how that works within the design platform within Command. I'm also going to take a minute before we dive into today's class to show you guys some other vendors that we have that have templates on their websites that you guys can use in your marketing materials, as well as on your social media and things like that. So of course, I'm logged in at agent.kw.com. That's our Command platform. So I'm on the home page, but if you're not, if you want to see what that looks like, it's just agent.kw.com. It might just log me in because I'm here, but that's the website we're going to be working out of today for the Designs applet. As far as the other vendors that I mentioned, we have two vendors that we work with that offer marketing that you guys can use as a resource. We have Michael Lewis Marketing Suite, and their site is literally michaellewismarketingsuite.com. You can sign in with your email and your password. If you do not have access to this site, just reach out to myself or Danny and we'll go ahead and set you up. But if you did your Scott Leroy questionnaire, this is a site that is included all the way at the bottom of your setup email. And you'll be able to get your password there. But again, if you don't have access to this site or you never received your login information, just let us know. This is a great resource. They have a bunch of free things. What most agents use this site for, to be quite honest, under free stuff here, you have things like listing presentations, as well as email signatures. So if you want to put a little nice email decoration at the bottom of your email, it's called an email signature, and all the templates are here. So that's why I brought you here to show you the free options. But of course, they have things that you can work on, like business cards, door hangers, flyers, postcards. You can order directly from Michael Lewis Marketing Suite. However, you can also work on a piece and then download it if you want to just print it here at the office, or you have another printer you work with locally. The options are endless. You don't have to purchase the print piece from them if you're going to work on their templates here. I'm not going to go into too much more detail when it comes to the Michael Lewis Marketing Suite site. Maybe I'll have a class on just this site because there is that much information in here that we can spend a whole hour, even more, just talking about all the pieces that they offer. I knew one thing that I like to mention before we go is they also added Spanish templates. So they have some materials in Spanish. So if you have Spanish speaking clients or things like that, that you kind of wanted to draw some attention to, they have some postcards and some flyers and things along that nature. But that's the Michael Lewis Marketing Suite. Again, a great resource. They offer print marketing and they also offer postcards delivered to your farm areas. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and log out of there and close that tab out. The other vendor, most of you guys have probably worked with these folks. This is Scott Leroy Marketing. So Scott Leroy Marketing is who you did your onboarding with. So they set up all your sites and they set up your mobile app. They set up all your KW resources. Besides the onboarding or just starting with them, they also have a template section with email signatures, flyers, and things that you can use as well. They, of course, have a ton of videos that you can watch on their YouTube channel. When I meet with you guys individually, you know that I recommend them highly. Great videos, and they also go through all the content. So whatever it is that you want to learn from Command, most likely they have a video on it. So definitely a great resource. But the login for this site is our actual office number. So when Keller Williams opened up our office number was 738. So if you go here to log in, you're going to just type in 738 and then log in. And again, I'm not going to go through a bunch of detail on the Scott Leroy side. I'm just going to show you where the templates are, where the email signatures are, just because you guys have print marketing on here that you can download and use on social media, as well as print it on your own. So if you go under agent resources, of course, their classes and their training calendar is available under this menu, and their recorded classes on their YouTube channel is also here. We're actually going to go down to templates. And their templates are here. They have a cool video to show you how to use the templates. Their templates are through Google Docs, so you're going to have to make copies of those templates on your actual Google Drive account. to use them. Again, I would take the time to watch the video. It's super quick. It shows you how to use Google Docs and how to make your own templates, copying the ones they offer you. But basically the templates they have here are all down here. So you have things like email signatures, flyers, Facebook cover photos. There's a bunch of options here. Just wanted to draw some attention since we're talking about print marketing and just marketing in general when it comes to the design center. This is just another spot where you guys can snag photos and flyers and things like that if you need them. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this tab out as well. And now we're gonna get to the fun stuff. This is the stuff that's within Command. We're gonna work in the design applet today. Of course, there are a ton of options within Command and things that we can do. In today's class, again, we're going to edit a flyer and we're also going to create a social piece. So we'll create that social piece, which then you guys can turn around and use on your Facebook or your social media. And then we'll also, not a flyer, we're actually going to edit an actual postcard. And I'll show you how that's linked to the MLS, so you can import photos over as well as property descriptions and things like that. It feeds directly into the MLS. So since we're talking about designs, here in the home page, you do have a designs update little widget is what these are called. This will give you any updated templates that they have included recently into Command. So if you ever wanted to just preview something, you can click preview, kind of take a look at it. And if you wanted to customize it at all, you can just go ahead and click on go to designs, and you can go ahead and enter in your information and kind of tweak it to your preferences. And that's true for anything that you see under the design center and the design app widget here. We're actually going to go into the design applet. So we're going to click on the KW on the left-hand side. And we are going to click down here on designs. Now, designs is where you're going to come to create your content. Designs is where Command also stores any other things that you may have done within Command from a marketing perspective. So any flyers, any postcards, any videos, any social pieces will all be here. You can search by name here at the top left. You can also filter if you only wanted to see a specific kind. See here, type. You can also click on the drop down here for newest and oldest. But as far as what's here, if yours is blank, it's just because you haven't created any, so don't freak out. As you do them, it'll start storing the ones you've worked on for your, for your convenience. But if you also wanted to just delete them, you can delete, make a copy, or rename there as well. So if you have a piece here you no longer want to see, you can go ahead and delete it. So going back to the actual design app, you do have an option of importing design. So if you're an agent who has a specific vendor that you work with, such as Canva or something along those lines, you can actually import other designs from other vendors, and you can actually edit them on this platform. So if you have another template that you wanted to use, you would just import the PDF through here, and you'll be able to tweak and add things to that specific template. We're not going to do that today. However, if you wanted to find a video on that, again, Scott Leroy is where I go for all of my training. So they have a video on Marketing 101 that'll cover importing in a design. And maybe I'll schedule a class where I go a little bit more in depth on those kind of features. But as far as today's class, we're going to click on Create Design. And it's going to give you a couple options here. So of course, you're going to create design. When you create a design, you can use that design within the email section of Command, social, print, and video. So real quick from the social and print section, I mentioned earlier today that you can import photos from the MLS and the property descriptions. That is true for social and print marketing or designs. So that means that you can import from the MLS any photos or any descriptions directly from there on these two options alone. The other two are kind of standalone. They're not connected to the MLS, but these are the most important ones where you would want to use that feature anyway. So that's why these are the only two that works for. But as far as today, let's go ahead and create a video real quick. I'll show you how that works. These videos are really cool videos that you can use in your marketing, social media, and things like that. And it's like a 1 minute video. You don't have to do anything but plug in the stats of the neighborhood. It's fed in by HomeSnap. So if the community is not coming up under HomeSnap, HomeSnap is a company that Keller Williams has that kind of collects the data for all these neighborhoods. So hopefully the neighborhood that you're choosing, the ones in Tampa, from my experience that I've tested out, any ones in our suburbs here, Riverview, Apollo Beach, they've all been popping up. So we're going to use, let's see, when we just type in Wesley Chapel, see what pops up. But if you know the actual neighborhood name, it tends to work best. When you choose Wesley Chapel, some of the most popular ones in that specific place will come up. If you do Tampa, the same thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose. Let's see if I can just do. See if that pops up. So we should have one here in Florida. Wiregrass. Perfect. I'm going to use a neighborhood that I'm familiar with, but of course, you guys would select the neighborhood that you want to use or your farm area, whatever that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and choose this one here, and then we're going to do next. And then based on the information from the KWLS and MLS, they'll plug in some numbers here. So you're going to have the name of your neighborhood, which you can tweak if it's got some weird, like after, sometimes they'll put like the description from the tax record, so you can change that, of course. The average home price, and if your information is coming from HomeSnap, it'll have most of this information here. Most of it should be correct. If you know your neighborhood or you know your stats and you know something should be tweaked, by all means, you're more than welcome to tweak any one of these numbers to your liking. And then you can tweak these as well. So average home price, of course, with the market where we are today, I wouldn't say we're on the decline or holding steady. We're on the rise for that, as well as for average per square footage. We're going to put those both on the rise. However, you know your farm areas or the areas you're using, so you can tweak those as you want. I'm going to leave these alone because these seem pretty correct from where I'm looking at these. However, you can edit this to your knowledge or how you want it to look. Just make sure that when you're editing it, the information does make sense and that it can be verified, of course, via MLS or whatever source. So you get to pick neighborhood features. So book loving is probably not one of them for this neighborhood, just because I know it. Let's see here. We'll leave the luxury one. Let's just pull up and see what other options we have. So you have a couple of different options that you can choose here. Some of them are really cool, farm culture, you know, if it's trendy, hipstery, you can fitness oriented. These are really cool kind of call outs for these specific neighborhoods. If you're like in a Seminole Heights area, you know, you can call out like the live music and anything that attracts buyers to those specific places, whether it's restaurant experiences or whatever it may be. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug in shopping here. You can choose up to 3, so you just have to make sure to choose wisely. They even have hipster there, historic, right, for your Seminole Heights areas. Let's see here, what other thing we can choose here. Let's choose, like student life would be probably something close to UT or USF. Outdoorsy, we'll go ahead and choose outdoorsy for that one. And then agent information, of course, this is feeding in from your marketing profile with any command. If you needed to tweak any of this information, you're more than welcome to do so. Or you can, of course, start off in your marketing profile. How you get there is by clicking on settings and then going down to the marketing profile, and you'll be able to tweak this information so that way you don't have to change it up. I'm going to go ahead and add my name here in my marketing profile. On purpose, I have Keller Williams Tampa Central. But for this specific one, I'm going to go ahead and add my name here. There we go. And then, of course, title as realtor, my email address. Let's go ahead and put my MCTT one on there just because it's what I use for work. And then we'll put the office phone number on here. Of course, this would be relevant to your information here, so just make sure that this all information you're happy with, so that way your video will be correct. And then with the marketing information, again, this is feeding from the marketing profile. So if something's not coming up here, just make sure to tweak your marketing profile. But of course, you can edit it here so you don't lose your work. We're going to go ahead and click next. And then our video should generate. Again, that's all we needed to do. If you needed to tweak your video from a property, days on market, whatever it is, you can do that, like I mentioned before. You can also sometimes for certain neighborhoods, if for whatever reason you don't have information in there for the price per square footage or average day on market, you can enter those in. Just make sure you're using a reliable source. Some people have seen that it'll have zeros there for them. So just don't generate the video, of course, with it being zeros. Just go ahead and update the information using MLS or whatever you use for your broker metrics. So we're going to go ahead and click play here so you guys can see it real quick. Perfect. So hopefully you guys were able to see that. You can see where all the information is feeding in through. And the video will be, it won't be blurry once you download the video. So that's just because it's due to the preview. But that's pretty much the gist of the video. Super cute, straight to the point, and all the information that you saw there, you can tweak if it's not correct or you want to showcase something else. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. And now the most recent work will be here. So now you can use this video in an email through command. You can post it on your social posts. You can do a ton of things. Again, anything you work here, most of the things that you work within the design studios will then later be available for you to do your campaigns with. We're not going to cover campaigns today. I'm going to schedule a class to cover campaigns specifically. However, this is the point. You work on designs, you can work through here and kind of post them or download them to post on your Facebook, or use them for your own stuff or like prints and things like that. However, when you work on them here, then they'll be available for you in campaigns. So that's the video. Now we're going to go and work on something else real quick. We're going to go ahead and click create designs again, and we're actually going to do a social post. So let's click on social, and we're going to go ahead and click continue. One thing I didn't mention at the beginning of class, I am working out of Firefox today. I normally work out of Chrome for command. Chrome is the recommended browser. We have found that Firefox seems to work best with the design. So I would recommend if you don't have Firefox, download it. It just makes it a little smoother and there's just less of a lag when it comes to working within the design section. So this is the design section of commands. So this is where you're going to have all of your options when it comes to social. So we did choose social before we got here. So all of these pieces in these categories are going to be able to be used from a social perspective. One thing I like to call out here is you have a couple options and we're going to kind of walk our way through them. So here under assets, you have a section where you can pre-upload things like color palettes. You can upload your photos. If you have, like you see here, I have a picture that I use in my marketing, but if you have a headshot that you wanted to upload, you can just click here, go to your device or from whatever other vendor, and you can upload, you know, your photo if you wanted to use a different one there. So I'll upload that one just so it's there. So now you have kind of like a little photo section that you can choose text that you've been using. So if you have text that you use on every bit of your marketing or something along those lines, you can of course create a text box and it'll just be available for you to plug in and play within your pieces. So of course, things like your website, your address, things like that, you can just create a little, you know, snippet and it'll post it, even bios. So that logos. So I have these are the ones that I've uploaded to my account. If you want to get your logo from Keller Williams, like our logo for Tampa Central, you're going to go, once you're logged into command, you're going to go to mykw.kw.com. And if you're logged into command, it'll just log you in automatically. However, if you're not logged in, and you will need your command login to get to this piece. So this is the old school platform for Keller Williams. But we're going to go here under marketing. Click on marketing, it'll take you to KW Connect, and then you're going to go to logos and branding. Once you go to logos and branding, it'll take a second. And this is where you can, in theory, download any one of these generic Keller Williams logos. However, if you keep scrolling down, should be worth my, just kidding. The ones that you scroll down, these are where all the generic logos are. Just the KW, one KW, however you want those. If you wanted to use those, you're more than welcome to. But if you want to use our actual office logos, you're just going to click here and you're going to type in that number that I told you for Scott Leroy's website, which is 738. It'll give you the logo. You can preview them. I don't think you can see that. So if you click, let me just share my screen for that one as well. So it'll look like this. It'll show you the logos, but it'll be a zip file that you download. And it'll have our logo in all different, several different types of formats. So you'll have like a zip file of all like black and white, just black, white, red, black. So there's a bunch of different options there. They also have a couple of different files that can be used for when you're actually getting like signs made and things like that. So they're called vector, is the type of file. Not relevant. You don't need to know what a vector file is. All that means is that logo can be used and it won't be distorted. So the quality of the logo will not be distorted and you can get a good quality print if that's something you need. But again, that's how you get our logos for our office. So basically, if I go back to command here and I was to click on upload, let's upload a different one just so you guys can see. I'm going to click on my device and I actually have the logo saved on my computer. So we're going to go here and I'm just going to upload. Let's see, maybe I'll upload just one in white so you guys can see it. So let's do that one. So let's upload file. So there you go. I uploaded a KW logo with all the letters in white. So again, you can upload all your logos here and that way they're ready for you to use when you're doing your pieces. Elements is where you can upload stickers and like almost clip art if you have anything specific that you're using. Videos, the same premise. If you're using a specific video, you can upload videos here. And then files are just where you can upload your files if you're using something specific for your marketing. And then the next tab here is the My Designs tab. This is where you can see all of your designs that we had looked at before, all the ones that you have worked on. Here you can delete your pieces, but if you want to actually edit one, you have to click on the dot, 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 and then you can click on edit. And then of course you can share, rename, duplicate, and all that other good stuff here. And then images is where you can search for stock photos. So this is where all the stock photos come and you can snag photos from here. Templates is where we started. So the templates are categorized on the left-hand side. You can go through and you can work your categories. There's holiday pieces in here. So if we go to December, that's the most popular month. You'll see that they have a ton of templates that you can snag and use there. And then we're actually going to work on a listing one just for today's example. We're going to click on coming soon and we're going to do social square. So let's go ahead and work on this social piece. So this social piece we're going to work on now. You can tweak, you can change the wording. It doesn't even have to say coming soon. I'm just going to use that for today's example. However, you're more than welcome to do whatever you want and use it wherever you like. I'm going to go ahead and use, let's see here. Let's go ahead and use this one. So I'm going to click use. And if you've worked on Google Docs before, this is a little similar to that where you can save your work. It'll save your work as you go. It'll even have like a step-by-step if you want to, help with how to work the piece. So this is the main piece here. This is a one-pager. We're going to end up saving this as a JPEG so then you can use it on Facebook because you need it to be in a photo format for you to save it. If you save it as a PDF, you won't be able to upload it to Facebook. So let's go ahead. If you were just going to print it and use it at an open house or use it for something like that, then you can use it as a PDF. So I'm going to go here. You can rename your file. I'm going to rename it Designs. And I'm just going to date it so I know it's from today's class. So now we have renamed our piece and you can see here it's automatically saving for us. And just like you've worked on Word, you can hit undo. You can hit, you can view the versions of it. You can go to file and there's other options here for you to either save or change grids or change the aspect of the photo. You can also go home. These tabs are all connected to where we just were. You can see here that I uploaded my other headshot there. And as far as the piece here, you're just going to click and you can drag different things if you wanted to update the information. So what we're going to do, we're going to go here and we're going to change some things. Like I'm going to change this photo to show you how it's linked to KWLS. You can search for properties here and you can, if you have an active listing or a listing you're doing open house on, you can do all that stuff too. You can add animation, you can add text and images here as well. And then on the top here, of course, I changed the name there. You can share it if you wanted to do something specific, just straight to Facebook from here. There's the link that you can use and then you can download it, which we'll do as well. And then of course, all your little button features that you can add text and things like that to the piece. If this had more than one page on the right-hand side here, you would have all the options here and you can work your way through it. For instance, if you're working on a listing presentation, you can, select the pages you're working on and only work and include certain pages. But this is a one pager, so we're not going to have too many options there. But let's go ahead and tweak a couple things. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the logo here. So if we click here, it's going to highlight the doing business as, and you're going to see that I have some logos here as an option. Of course, I uploaded the one with you guys that is the white lettering Tampa Central. We can't use that one because of course our background is white, so that wouldn't work, but I can use this one here. If you want to just click the add button or you want to just drag it over, it'll bring it over. But since we have already selected the old logo that's there, we can literally click the replace button here and it should replace it. And there you go, it's replaced it for us. So now our logo is there, or each office is independently owned and operated is replaced. Now we're going to go ahead and replace the main photo. This is a beautiful kitchen, but we're going to try to find a different photo. We're going to go here under KWLS and we're going to search for a listing. So let's see what our features are. So we just need to search for an address. So let's see here. Searching properties. Here. And while I search for a property, bear with me. I have them picked out for you guys. All right, so we're going to go here, current location, and we are going to search. All right, I think I found one. So we're going to just search this one here, and hopefully this one has photos. This is probably a bad example. Nope, it's in the construction, so that one will not have a kitchen. I'm going to try to find one that would have at least a nice kitchen photo for us to use. That one should work. All right, so now I found the one I want to use. I just went online and searched for an address close to the office. I should have just had that address for you guys before. So let's just plug in that address here. The system here. And let's see if it pops up. Why isn't it popping up? What did I do wrong? I may have to come back to this one just because I am under social and maybe so I didn't select, include social when we did it. It should be coming up for me. It's not. Nothing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move forward just because I can't get that to work and I think I did something wrong. I think this is user error one. And I think it's because when I first set up, so if we go back to command, now it's on a principality, I have to figure out what I did wrong. So when I go back to command, I go to designs, and I hit create design, and then I click social, but then I'm also going to click here, import photos and text from the MLS. This button here works for only these two, but I don't think I selected it in that other one. I don't think I didn't. So let's hope that that fixes my problem. Okay, that'll make my property pop up. And here's the property that I wanted to use. Of course, condos can always be tricky just because of the unit number. Let me see what my price was. The price was $49. So hopefully, I see one for $49 coming up here. What's the zip code on that one? 33602. All right, so let's see here. Even if the turn me off, 2026, this shouldn't be, but yeah, I'm having trouble finding this one. I'm gonna search without the, and I could select these other ones, but I don't know. I wanted to select the one that I saw. Let's see here. 3,800. Give me the MLS number. MLS number. All this information. Here it is. So weird one. I'm going to search by MLS number just because. There it is. This is the one I was saying. So this is the one out of principality that I wanted to use. I'm going to click select. And now I'm just going to select my coming soon template. So we're going to do coming soon, and we're going to do the social square. And the one that I had selected was this one. So we're going to hit use. And here's the card. So we go to KWLS. There we go. So now the photos are popping up here, as you can see. The one thing I will say is I have used this before where you can just search the addresses, but maybe because I didn't select I didn't select that button where I wanted to import photos. I didn't know I wanted to do that. So that's why I was being a little weird. But again, the system isn't perfect and I'm not perfect. So maybe that's what the hiccup was. All right, so I'm going to actually do one more thing here. I'm going to try to search by a different MLS number and see if it actually works now. See, that's not working. Through here. Search. There we go. There we go. So now we're at least getting more options on what we're looking for. So MLS numbers. There we go. It's loading now. And the one that I'm looking at here is MLS 426 is the last. That's the main photo there. There we go. Are we not even in Florida anymore? Nope. Confusing the system. Sorry guys, there's focus on finding this. So it's not searching by that. Condos are always hard to search just because there's so many units per building, right? So it's not searching by MLS here. So KWS listing. Let's see here. I feel like I jinxed myself now that I did that. But I'm glad this happened so that way you guys see that. No one's perfect and that's okay. So of course, I'm gonna try to find the one that I was working on here. Let's see. Number. Let's see. And of course, this list will go on and on because of that building. So we're gonna just select one of these up here and call it a day. But again, you saw how I did in the beginning. Just don't go back and try to search because it's just going to freak out if you don't. Here. Let's to use a place that I liked. Now it's kitchen. And it's being a pain in the butt to me. All right, so let me try to see. Let's search by this MLS number. Search by location. There we go. So yeah, you can search by city, of course, but that's not going to help us because we are trying to find a specific place. Let's see here. Try to search by this entire address. There we go. So we're going to select this one. And there are our photos. Perfect. It's going to load our photos. And then, of course, your property details are here as well. Photos. There we go. So here's our property. We're going to hit select. And it's just really finicky. Less is more. That's a pain in the butt. But here's a similar kitchen to this. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. So if you select this here, you can, of course, click the replace button. And then it'll just replace your photo. Or you can click and drag over and it'll know that that's the photo you want to use. But I'm just going to hit the replace button. And there you go. Of course, you can do the same thing with the verbiage and the address. This gets a little weird. There is a glitch there. So we're just going to click on there. And we're going to move this photo back. Just click there. And there you go. I just moved it back. So there's that. The coming soon is great. Let's go ahead and update the address. So if we click here and then we go up to listing details, we're just going to find the property address and we're going to hit replace. So now we've replaced that. I'm going to include the state here. Well, and then, of course, this is the other piece we're working on. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the logo as well. So let's go ahead and hit back. And now we're going to go to logos. And I'm going to go here. And we're going to replace the logo. And we're going to hit here to refresh, replace that one. And let's go ahead and see. Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can go back to KWLS. Let's see how many rooms this one had. This is one we're working with. We're going to go to listing details. And this was a 4-4. So let's just go ahead and place that. 4 bad. And again, you can edit these and you can hit undo. I just deleted that one by mistake. I didn't want to delete the whole box. Just wanted to delete the 2 to turn it into a 4. Square footage on this one is going to be 2847. So 2847. So well, I was going to make this a little larger, so I want it to be a little larger. There we go. And the offer price was 700, so let's go ahead and change that. And then I am going to do one more thing. Text. And then we're going to go here. Of course, you have banners, you have workspace you could do, you have assets you can add, like your information is here. But we're going to go and add our photo. So we're going to add this photo here. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to click outside of that and just click add. Yeah. So there we go. Actually, I have to click here. Let's see here. We're going to go back. We're going to do. So let's go ahead and pick an image here. These are just placeholders for the image. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to select one of these. I want it to be small enough to not take away from the photo. Maybe this one. And then here is where I would select that one. And I can go here. See, that one's not going to work because it's just not going to work because it cuts it off, right? So let's see here. One of these would work. And then we're going to go here, just replace it. And then we're going to make it small. And we're going to add it here in the corner, right? Or wherever you want, wherever it makes sense to you. I like it in the corner here. So we'll add that. And then we can add a text box once you're done with that. So text box here. And we want it to be body of the text. So here's a text box. You can make that large, small, whatever you see fit. And then we're going to go to text and we're just going to put our name there. So if I replace that, it's now replaced our text box. And we're going to just kind of work this here. There we go. Just changing the font. Let's see here. I don't want it to be bold, but we can bold it. Spacing. That's fine actually. I'll make this. There we go. Give this enough room to space out. And you can make the text red, black, whatever makes sense for you. I'm gonna go just want to make it red just to match everything else. But you could spend more time here kind of tweaking it and doing all that stuff. But again, there's a bunch of options here. You can add the office address here as well. This is more like a Facebook post. So with the Keller Williams Tampa Central, you know, you're compliant. They can look that up and see where we are. But if you wanted to add a text box with the address here, you'd have the address, or you can just add it in with a text box. So that's pretty much the gist of the social piece, the social square. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up here and we're going to click download. And we're going to do JPEG just because that's how we're going to get it on Facebook. We're not going to post it on Facebook today, but we're going to use our imaginations. I'm going to go here and I'm going to hit download, and then it downloads to your computer. And then you can then post it on Facebook. So there we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and share that so you guys can see the final product. Of course, you can tweak it to your preferences, but here is the final product. So this is what the print will look like. I'm on a Mac, so you can, of course, see it's a little bit different, but here is the final piece that we can then turn around and just post on Facebook. So besides the little confusion there that I have with KWLS, again, less is more when it comes to searching there. So condos are a little bit more difficult to search for, but in the beginning, if you click that option of importing photos or description from MLS, and you search the property by MLS number, you'll be good to go. So that is the best way to handle that part there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close that window, and now we're gonna hit done here. And we're gonna do that, and it's gonna take us back to design. So now you have your coming soon here. Technically, this is the first one I started. As you can see, I'm human like you guys, but this is the one we actually ended up finishing. So this is the one that you would use on Facebook or social posts under campaigns. You can then post this on your business page or even your regular Facebook page. All right, I'm gonna cover one more thing here. We're gonna go to create designs and we're gonna do print. So now that we're doing the print design, I'm gonna go ahead and hit import as well, just because I wanna make sure that it's all coming over for us. Hit continue, and let's go ahead and search by MLS number. And let's just use the same property we had been using for the previous one, just to keep it simple. But again, if you do this part and you just stick to it, you won't have any issues like I did trying to search for condos, and that little search bar is kind of confusing and tedious. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click select. And now it's going to load and it's going to take me to the print marketing. So with print marketing, if you wanted to order prints, you would have to do that through the campaign section. I'll show you what that looks like since I do have another page here open up. Let's go to agent.kw.com. So right now through the design center, when you hit print, you can only order flyers through them. However, if you wanted to do print marketing, you would create a campaign. So we go here, we expand our menu. You're going to go to campaigns and you're going to go over to, once it loads here, you're going to actually go to direct mail and you're going to order prints through them. And that's how you would order prints to be sent out to your farm area or whatever it is the situation that you're dealing with. But that's through campaigns and direct mail. So then the other thing we're going to do here, we're going to go back here to the design section and we're going to choose a piece to show you what we're doing. Let's see here, we could do a postcard or we can do, so this is also where your listing presentations are under buyer and listings. You have listing presentations and buyer presentations that you can work on. These are the ones that I was telling you that you can work on several pages and select which pages you actually just want to print, not having to print all of them. Of course, we don't recommend you working on a listing presentation that's longer than 5 to 10 pages. 10 is still on the long side, but it's completely up to you on how you wanted to handle that. Let's see which piece we wanted to work on here. Maybe we can choose a holiday one. It only has December on there. Excuse me. So those are the print marketing for the holidays. And then let's see what else we have here. Let's see what we can work on for our last 9 minutes of class. Let's go ahead and choose Maybe print snap, maybe. These require information from the MLS. You have to pull your information to kind of have it. So I'm not going to do that one. Let's just do maybe adjust listed. And these work exactly like the social squares, except they're just different, they're different layout. So those you're gonna have a lot more options when it comes to the print marketing. You have door hangers on here as well. Let's go ahead and see if we could just find a flyer, or here you go. There we go, flyer. So let's choose one of these. Let's see here. Let's choose this one. So these. So I just wanted to show you that these are exactly the same when it comes to the pieces that you're working on. So you can import from the KWLS the photos. You can change the photos. Something like this, you can actually tweak and you can add more photos if you'd like. Your information is already implied here. So this is also something that you can then download and save as a JPEG, and you can then post on social media, attach it to an email, however you want to do it. But you also have the option of downloading it as a PDF, where then you can print it at the office, or you go to your local printer that you're using. Same premise, it works the same. You can edit things, you can go through all that. And that's how that works. I'm not going to go through the editing all of this just because we lack of time, but I will go here. Let's replace the photo. Let's put it above. This one to the top. My photo here, so it's sent it to the top. So let's put this to the bottom. Send forward, send to the bottom. Oh, where did it go? I don't know what I did with that photo there. I'll just click undo. So we get back to where we were. There it is. That's something kind of acted funny there. But if we go here, we're just going to click and drag it over that, and hopefully that can just replace it. Boom, there you go. Let's change Lisa's name to my name, of course. So we're going to go here to my assets, and we're just going to refresh. And then we'll change the phone number the same way. This one may be a little more difficult because there's more information on here. But again, you would change it accordingly, right? The doing business, the DBA. Choose the logo. Choose the logo. It's giving me trouble there. Here. Let's go to logos. There we go, finally. So I'm going to go here, and this one we can use the white one that I uploaded earlier. You can refresh it. And boom, there it is. The red background is a little bit funky, so we probably should upload another one. Let me show you how you would do that. You're going to go to images, and we're going to go to add, and we're going to go to upload, and I'm going to upload the logo that just has the white lettering for the KW logo. And that one should work perfectly. Let's go back one. And get some. Let's go with the white. All black and white. Perfect. So let's just do this one. There's that one. Let's replace it. Which is this. So let's just delete this one. And we're gonna go a little smaller, but now you can see that you can see all the verbiage because it's gonna get the color from the background. So now that matches. We have that. Let me see here. We also have stock photos you can use on the flyers and things like that. So if you're having an open house or you want to have a little fun with it, like the clip art, you can add all the stock photos here, and they all have different ones for the stock photos in general. The other thing that they have is workspace. So they have different little, depending on the type of flyer you're making, you can add these to your flyers. They have animation you can do if you're going to do one online. And then they have, of course, your logos, elements. What else? I'm going to show you guys. So under photos, they also have stock photos here that you can use. So if you click on stock photos, they have a ton of different photos that may be outdoors, it may be interior, depends on what you're looking for. You can also search here for different types of photos, but you can add all of these stock photos to your flyers as well. All right, let's go ahead and rename this flyer. So let's just rename it to today's class. And we're going to hit, of course, you can order print on flyers. Again, if you wanted to order postcards, you can do it through here. You'd have to go through the campaigns. You can share it from here as well, but we're just going to hit download. And then you can download as a JPEG. You can download as a PDF. If you're going to use it on Facebook or an email, you should probably download it as a photo so then you can use it from there. But again, all your options are here under the select type. We're going to go ahead and click done. And we're back to the design center where you have all of the pieces that we worked on today, as well as any that you worked on previously. Thank you guys for coming to class. That's all I had to cover today. Thank you for bearing with me while I went through all of my searching through KWLS issues. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to schedule an appointment with, please just email me at mctt738@kw.com. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for coming to class. Bye.